people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman, I love what she's doing, she's fighting for us.
And I expect all of you guys to get involved with conservative media.
Do you have faith in Janet Napolitano to keep you safe from harm?
No!
These people are speaking it out here. They're letting you know what's going on. This is John Villarreal reporting for Conservative New Media.
Conservative New Media viewers, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion powerlifter in the bronze medal world championships at the in powerlifting as well. And also I was a national level competitor in both wrestling and judo. We've got, and I've practiced many martial arts, ninjutsu, taekwondo, aikido, etc., boxing. PFV is on the line over here. Now you know we love MMA, and you know that we love Fedor the Emperor Emelianenko. And he is about to fight Werdum this Saturday at the HP Pavilion in San Jose, California. This is an explosive fight. A lot of people are waiting for it, and then after this, if Fedor can win, it's all about Overeem versus Fedor. But first, he has to face Werdum. Now, Paul, what do you think about this? I love Fedor, you love Fedor. I don't think there's anyone out there that can beat him. Of course, anyone can lose at any given time. But do you give Werdum any real shot at winning this fight?
Well, Werdum is, Werdum is a big guy. He's got good skills on the ground and stuff. You can't totally discount him. But I think most people would say, Fedor's going to beat Werdum 8, 9, or 10 out of 10. And so this looks good for Fedor. As you mentioned in the opening, the real fights for Fedor are realistically at this point probably Overeem and then, dream matchup with Brock Lesnar. I don't think Werdum is going to beat him.
I don't think Werdum's going to beat him. I think Werdum's going to get destroyed. Werdum has had question marks about his conditioning before when he goes, up and down in weight and stuff like that. I think that, he's got some different things he's conditioned, but I think that Fedor basically beats him in all phases. Better jiu-jitsu, better striking, faster, better conditioning, and just overall just tougher. And I think that when we saw Werdum basically get, rocked and knocked out cold by Dos Santos, who admittedly has heavy hands, but you basically seen that, Werdum can be just taken out with one shot, and he gets a little lackluster with his shots out there. I think that we can see Brett Rogers redux without the same kind of power and muscling of Fedor that Rogers was able to possess. So I think Werdum really needs to come in just top shape to have any chance. And yeah, of course, anyone's got a puncher's chance, particularly heavyweight. But I really would, if I was betting in Vegas, I'd bet the farm on Fedor. So I think Fedor retains again. I think it's going to be an explosive knockout or submission, whatever Fedor wants to do to finish the fight. And I think it's going to be very interesting. Now, what about the undercard here? This is an interesting rematch between Scott Smith, who got a last minute, if you will, a last round knockout on Kung Lee, versus, again, of course, Kung Lee, who is, has dominated when he's fought usually and has just tremendous kicks. But some say that he wasn't taking it serious enough, didn't have enough time to transition from his movie to be in condition. Who do you think wins this one? I mean, Scott Smith's feeling confident again, but he was really outclassed for at least 3 of the rounds there. We're looking at another 5-round fight. I mean, what do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I think that, there's a lot of people that have been talking about this on Sherdog. I mean, people are kind of excited about this. Look, Kung Lee, as everybody knows, was the kind of, picturesque golden boy superstar. He has all the kicks and all that type of thing. The problem with Kung Lee is you don't know how much kind of he can just do moment to moment when he's not doing the spectacular stuff. And so it's like, the stuff looks good and it's effective, but sometimes you just got to kind of get in the trenches and go to war a little bit, I don't know if he's so great at that. And look, Kung Lee has to be favored. You think he's going to be motivated and everything, but Smith is a tough dude. He showed that in the last fight, and if he catches Kung Lee, well, could have a repeat.
In a lot of ways, Kung Lee reminds me of a different version of the old Chuck Liddell, right? Instead of punching, it's more kicks. And he's devastating, and he's a knockout artist, and he has big explosive moves. But if he can't take you out of there, there's no real other answer. You know, if he can't take you out of there with his big explosive kicks or whatnot, like you said, he doesn't have that sort of ground and pound nitty gritty game, if you will. You know, of how do you just sort of like, you know, make sure you win the decision and grind it out, and, you know, whether submissions, this and that, whatever. It's all these long explosive kicks, but it does take a lot of energy, even if you're in great shape and stuff, especially over 5 rounds. So I think that that's going to be interesting. But I mean, I do think, you know, I love Scott Smith, and it's hard to, you know, bet against a guy. I think you have to give the edge to Kung Lee because he really did outclass Scott Smith. But, you know, maybe Kung Lee's gotten a little too old. Maybe Scott Smith has really, found out.
What I was going to say.
Yeah.
Kung Lee is not a young guy.
No. And maybe Scott Smith has found out really the secret to beating Kung Lee after 5 rounds and whatnot. And look, I mean, well, you know what? I mean, you know what? I'd make this a pick'em fight. I think I just talked myself into that. I think it's a pick'em fight. I think it's real close. It's a coin toss. You know, I like both fighters a lot, but I kind of like Scott a little bit more. But it's a pick'em fight, so it should be very, very entertaining. You know, I think it's going to be very entertaining. So we'll see about that. You mentioned Sherdog. Everybody knows that I'm the bad boy of Sherdog. Almost too hot for Sherdog, really, and that's fine. But I wanted to give a shout out there to some of our real special fans, some of the Sherdoggers out there that are really hot, that definitely need a shout out. And that's people like Scorched Earth, who's an awesome bro. We love it in New Mexico. He's hanging and banging and pumping it up out there. I wanted to give a shout out to MMA Mouse. I want to give a shout out to Old Man. I want to give a shout out to, I know we're missing a couple others. I want to say Patrick77, I think. Who else? I know there's one more that I'm missing here, and I feel bad about it. But anyway, we love all our Sherdog fans out there. We do like to go on Sherdog to check out some of the cool videos and stuff, different, you know, news and stuff that they're breaking out right there. Even if some of the foreign people are a little crazy and stuff like that. And I think Scorched Earth was hitting me up with MMA events as well. I think that's an interesting site, and it's something we need to give a shout out to as well. Anyway, I am John. That is Paul. That's our MMA picks here for the Strikeforce event happening this weekend in San Jose, and we've got things in the works now to cover the event live and maybe bring you some behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, we can't promise it yet. We're working on some stuff. That's going to be really explosive. And we also have some conflict because I have to be at a live Sarah Palin event. The big one in Friday out here too. But we're going to try to work it all out and bring you some up close and personal stuff, and hopefully some stuff with Fedor himself. I am John. That is Paul. We are Conservative New Media, and we will see you next time.